Ladies and gentlemen, it is Monday, the 3rd day of July. The year is 2017, and if you can hear the sound of my voice, you are the revolution. I am Revolutionary Warrior number 1, General of the Save the World Army, Smokin' Joe McHale, and I would like to welcome you to day 295 of Operation Save the World. We are live from beautiful Sydney, Australia, and this is the Save the World Army live daily news, smashing through the lies of the Illuminati, smashing through the lies of the New World Order, and smashing through the lies of the government who are escalating their attacks against humanity every single day. But even though they are escalating their attacks against us, my brothers and sisters, don't you dare be sour. Join the Save the World Army and feel the power. Yes, 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 I have the power. You have the power. We have the power. Humanity has the power, and we have to use that power, the power of love, to beat the Illuminati, to break the New World Order, to bring down the government, and to save the world, because we know that the only way for humanity to be free is for us to bring down the government that is enslaving us. Thank you so much for joining me on this beautiful July afternoon. Revolutionary Corporal Mama Spike, Revolutionary Warrior 150, thank you for joining us. Good to see you on the live stream. And Revolutionary Sergeant 8888, Xena, says, G'day Joe, what about the 1984? Would love to join. That's excellent. I am looking to see the stage production of 1984. I think it's already started in Sydney. I'll check when the dates are on and we'll make it happen. And Skippy 2 Rad, I think that's my brother Skip 420. Let me know. Much love to you. Much love to all of you Revolutionary Warriors. Let's get started with the news today. The Pope demands a one world government to save humanity. And Mushroom Mitch, thank you for tuning in. Mushroom Mitch, like I was saying, Mushroom Mitch is Revolutionary Warrior 477. Thank you for tuning in. And Mo Martinez 110, thank you for joining us as well. Also Tormented Soul 8991, thank you for joining us on this beautiful day to be fighting for our freedom. The Pope demands a one world government to save humanity. And Pope Francis calls for a new world order for climate change by Jay Greenberg, July 2, 2017. The Pope has called for the creation of a one world government and an unelected political authority in a bid to save humanity from climate change. During an interview with Ecuador's El Universo newspaper, Pope Francis said that the United Nations must be granted full governmental authority as it needs more power for the good of humanity. And yes, it's good to see you, Corporal 150, Mama Spike. The most disturbing part of his comments is the Pope's call for a new global political authority. The Pope recently met with German Chancellor Angela Merkel to deliver a message from God. He told her that his holy message was to tear down border walls and do everything in her power to take down US President Donald Trump. According to The Guardian, Pope Francis will this week call for changes in lifestyles and energy consumption to avert the unprecedented destruction of the ecosystem before the end of this century, according to a leaked draft of a papal encyclical. In a document released by an Italian magazine on Monday, the pontiff will warn that failure to act would have grave consequences for all of us, while this thief, while this liar, while this pedophile in chief sits on billions and billions of dollars and land and gold. It is truly disgusting. Francis also called for a new global political authority tasked with tackling the reduction of pollution and the development of poor countries and regions. His appeal echoed that of his predecessor, Pope Benedict XVI, who in a 2009 encyclical proposed a kind of super UN to deal with the world's economic problems and injustices, and Revolutionary Sergeant number 4303 Mickey Stew, glad to see you, brother. So glad to see you've got Newey Squad up and running up in the Hunter Valley. Much love to you, bro. Globalization is the process of transitioning the world into a global government, and religious leaders are simply playing their part in this great deception. David Rockefeller famously said that before the good people of the world would be willing to accept a new world order, a global crisis would need to occur. World leaders again proclaimed the need for a new world order with absolute global financial control following the world economy crash in 2008. Climate change, along with the global warming hoax, is how the global elites attempt to shepherd humanity closer to unified totalitarian rule, with their preferred method of scaremongering demonstrated by Pope Francis here. Religious leaders worldwide are also beginning to preach from the same hymn sheet, instructing their sheep to adopt the components of the new world order's one world government. And Mickey Stew says, so first they destroyed the countries, then they offer to fix things. That's exactly what they do. That is the Hegelian dialectic. That's problem, reaction, solution. We have read their stinking playbook, and they keep running the same play over and over and over again. And Mama Spike said, first time I was able to catch you live in a while. It's good to have you with us. Much love to you. World leaders from a diverse collection of religious communities recently called for world unity in a joint video message. The call is seen as a major step on the road to the new world order for a world government that was prophesied over 2,000 years ago and was led by Pope Francis, Ayatollah al-Malani, the Dalai Lama, and Rabbi Abraham Skorka. The world religious leaders came together on June 14, my birthday, interestingly enough, to make a joint statement through a video calling on people to embrace ideas of friendship and unity and to overcome negativity and division in society. In reality, the call for global government by Pope Francis and other wealthy elitists has nothing to do with lifting up impoverished nations or saving humanity. Such a government would instead guarantee global surveillance, global wealth inequality, and a world run by the exact corrupt interests currently consolidating wealth and power worldwide. And Mickey Stew says, howdy brothers, and thanks for the logo. Too easy, bro. I'll get the modifications made to that soon. Just going to have some fluoride-free water here. Cheers to your health, and cheers to victory, my brothers and sisters. Also from Neon and Nettle, you might have heard about this. Mobb Deep rapper Prodigy tried to expose elite pedophile ring before he died. Hip-hop star working on exposing Illuminati child sex rituals. Once again by Jay Greenberg, July 1, 2017. One half of the legendary hip-hop duo Mobb Deep suddenly died last month after attempting to expose Illuminati child sex rituals. Rapper Prodigy, his real name Albert Johnson, died on June 20 after he was hospitalized whilst performing in the Art of Rap tour in Las Vegas with Havoc, Ghostface Killer, Onyx, KRS-One, and Ice-T. And Ghost Who Walks, Revolutionary Corporal 366, thank you for tuning in, my brother. The exact cause of his death is yet to be determined. Prodigy and Mobb Deep were well known for their outspoken views on the Illuminati and ruling elites, with many believing that it was Prodigy that actually triggered hip-hop's obsession with the secret society believed to secretly control the world. And Ghost Who Walks says, good afternoon, brother, good afternoon to you, bro. And Mickey Stew said, this stuff is really happening and it's sick. And it is really up to us to expose what's going on, because you're not going to hear about this in the mainstream media. It is their job to protect these putrid pedophiles. Some have pointed to Prodigy's solo song titled Illuminati from his 2008 album HNIC Part 2 as that point in time when he first made his views on the Illuminati public. From prison in 2007, not long before the release of HNIC Part 2, Prodigy wrote an open letter to Jay-Z in which he made some cryptic allegations of his connections to the secretive organization. And you can see this scumbag Jay-Z throwing up the pyramid all the time, throwing up the triangle, sign with his hands, his lyrics incredibly disgusting, wearing an Aleister Crowley t-shirt, doing Do What Thou Wilt. And Mickey Stew says, this could be interesting. I've been checking out KRS-One. And Ghost Who Walks says, Corporal Ghost Who Walks Warrior 366 Coastie Squad is in the house. And he's been a little bit sick the past few days. Much love to you, bro. Hope you get better soon. According to allhiphop.com, according to All Hip Hop, Prodigy was even working on a play designed to expose the Illuminati and elite pedophile rings. Kathy Landoli, the co-author of the MC's Commissary Kitchen, spoke to Complex about what the Queens native was working on next. The one thing we were planning on doing was a musical about the Illuminati and how the obsession with the Illuminati infiltrated people's opinions of hip-hop, said Landoli. She added, we were initially going to do an interactive type of musical with a company that runs the Illuminati ball, but then we decided to take our video to an off-Broadway situation. Tell a story with a very specific beginning, middle, and end, but the story began with prison. It was semi-autobiographical. In 2014, Prodigy attempted to expose the elite child trafficking network that was selling children to be used in voodoo child sex rituals for pedophile sex tourists, saying, I told y'all MFs they doing sex rituals on kids, SMH, dumb ass people need to wake TF up. He posted the message on his official Twitter account along with a link to an article exposing the sexual abuse of children with an image of young boys being used in a satanic ritual. And I'll read this letter that he wrote to Jay-Z. It's in his handwriting when he wrote it in prison. Crazy stuff. And Ghost Who Walks says, they won't keep me down, brother. They will not keep us down. We will power through to victory. And no, Mickey Stew, I don't mean Prodigy as breathe the pressure, come play my game, I'll test ya, psychosomatic, addict insane. No, I don't mean that Prodigy. This guy, his rap name is Prodigy. He was part of Mobb Deep. Different guy. And no, Mickey Stew, not Voodoo People, although that's a great track. But interesting how that's actually a bit of synchronicity, how the Prodigy did that song Voodoo People, and Prodigy is talking about voodoo sex rituals. That's actually very interesting. All right, Tuesday, 1 a.m. in my cell at Mid-State Correction. My first moment of clarity. And that's a play on words because there's a track on one of Jay-Z's albums called Moment of Clarity. The exact moment in time when I discovered that the entire planet was being lied to and was put under a spell to keep us unaware of it was back in 1996, around the time Biggie got locked up for the Tech 9 in his house. Biggie was in the newspaper that day with handcuffs on, being led by 2 or 3 cops. He had on a sweater with a big letter B on the front. It was that day that I was reading one of Dr. Malachi Z. York's books. Can't remember which one. I believe it was titled Leviathan 666. I finished the book and started crying. I was crying for all of humanity, but mostly for my black people. because I then realized it is all a sham. The government, politics, religions, the Federal Reserve, IRS, and everything that we believe and live by is a joke. This one book didn't make me see it all. No, it was the combination of other things I've read, studied, seen, and experienced. Leviathan 666 just helped connect all of the dots to make me see it's all real. Dr. York has since been set up by the FBI and Illuminati players and is now serving 135 years in a federal prison. His own son, Jacob York, who was deep in the rap business back in '96, orchestrated the entire setup. Africa Bambaataa and Prodigy are the only two famous rappers who speak for Dr. York and know he's innocent. Jay-Z and Jaz-O were both raised in their teenage years in Dr. York's New Wabian community in Bushwick, Brooklyn. Look at the Jaz-O Originators video and you'll see them holding up Dr. York's pictures, wearing his garb and flashing his symbols. Jay-Z knows the truth, but he chooses to side with evil in order to be accepted into the corporate world. Jay-Z conceals the truth from the black community and the world and promotes the lifestyle of the beast instead. And Mickey Stew says, okay, the lyrics though, yeah. And I am revealing some astonishing information if people will just do a little research and see Prodigy, Dr. York, and Africa Bambaataa are the truth. Jay-Z is a goddamn lie. I have so much fire in my heart that I will relentlessly attack Jay-Z, the Illuminati, and every other evil that exists until my lights are put out. And I feel exactly the same way. Because my power in the streets is incredible. I fear nothing and no one. I'm fearless because the truth has set me free from the Illuminati mental enslavement. And how many of you can relate exactly to what Prodigy is saying here? I can wholeheartedly agree with this man, because once you see what's going on, you dedicate your life, your time, your energy, your soul, and your spirit to doing the right thing and using peaceful means to bring down this evil system. And I have been empowered by God and the universe to bury these cockroaches. So that was my moment of clarity. In 1996, in Laurelton, Queens, New York, I have gone through serious spiritual wars with the evil energy that once existed in my body. It took me from 96 to 2008 to defeat the negativity that held my soul hostage all these years. Some people do it quicker, some never, and some have no negativity at all. They are special. This negativity I speak of is an actual living entity that uses us as food. We must sever our ties with it in order to see things for what they really are. This negative energy is created and harnessed by the Illuminati secret government, and they will make you spread this energy without you even knowing it. But people like Jay-Z are very well aware. He was schooled by Dr. York, so if you're aware and still spread it, what does that make you? Who and what do you represent? I'm not saying these bad things about Jay-Z because we had a rap beef. Fuck no. Try not to swear on this broadcast. I don't think I've ever sworn before. That's my mistake for reading this. Bear with me a moment. No, this has nothing to do with our rap beef, but it does connect in a way. Jay-Z is not the only aware rapper that sided with evil, but he's the most influential. For more information on this, please stay in tune with hnic2.com. HNIC2, the album, and HNIC2, the videos collection DVD. Also, my autobiography entitled My Infamous Life will be out early 2010, so please support reality rap, not fantasy crap. Free Dr. York, free Prodigy, and free your minds. It's crazy. And Simon Plasher, thank you for tuning in. During an interview with Vibe, Prodigy revealed how the elite are interlinked with child sex trafficking. Missing children. For years, children have been disappearing at an alarming rate. We've all seen them on the back of milk cartons and the news, but since around 1999, Feds magazine has been dedicating 2 pages of every issue to missing children. Millions of children are missing and nobody seems to be stressing the question why. Where are all these children going? How can you have so many missing children and not have it declared a national emergency? I can tell you what's going on here, but the answer is very disturbing and downright disgusting. These elite group of people that you keep hearing me speak of are broken down into several groups with smaller factions. They're the secret societies of the world. People, I'm sorry to say, but 95% of these millions of missing children are being used as a part of these elite societies' demonic and satanic rituals. They are being sexually molested because in these satanic rituals, when they molest a child, they are conjuring up a negative energy. They call this energy Satan or the devil. Satan or the devil is not a person. It's simply a negative energy that can completely take over a person's body, mind, and soul. And Mickey Stew is laughing, and Simon says, yes, bro, good to hear from you. Good to see you, Simon. And Mickey Stew posted a link, and JR Filthy says, being sold to other countries. Yeah, you're right as well. JR Filthy, Revolutionary Warrior 316, thank you for tuning in. The picture and image that we all have known of the devil with an all red body and horns, tail plus pitchfork, is just an artist's rendition of this very same energy. Not only are these missing children being used as sexual tools in satanic worship, but they're also being eaten as a part of these very same rituals. A lot of people don't realize that cannibalism is a part of satanic worship and is a part of the rituals that take place. Children are being strategically kidnapped and used in these satanic ceremonies. These people are also sick, but in a whole other way. And I've been talking about this for years. And this is happening all over the world. And these children can't stand up for themselves. It's up to us to stand up for them. It's up to us to use whatever peaceful methods we have at our disposal to bring down the evil government that is doing this to these children. And we have to do whatever we can to wake people up. And most people are going to stick their heads in the sand. Most people don't have the courage to face up to what's going on. But I know that you have the courage, and I thank you every single day for having the guts to do the right thing. From activistpost.com, Top 10 Pieces of Modern Day Propaganda by Mackie Freeman, July 1, 2007. Mickey Stew says they are being used as slaves and toys. It's disgusting. You're exactly right, brother. And Mama Spike says that's just nasty. It's beyond nasty. It is truly evil. Propaganda in modern times has become both easier and harder to detect. It's easier to detect in the sense that there are more places to get information, and it's easier to fact-check the claims of the MSM by going to the original report and source and seeing it for yourself. It's harder to detect in that people are busy and distracted and all too often forget that a giant conglomerate of 6 mega multinational corporations owns 85 to 95% of the world's media, and thus the same lie can be promulgated through thousands of avenues, outlets, and channels, with some people falsely believing it's all coming from different sources and representing different opinions. Today's propaganda is cleverly disguised, and you know something is horribly wrong when the spokeswoman, Kellyanne Conway, of the anti-establishment Trump team claims her team was giving alternative facts. How bad are things when the MSM is the one to correct somebody about truth, lies, and the definition of the word fact? This is part 3 of a series. Below are 10 pieces of propaganda in general society that often get bandied about without being challenged, which fool a lot of people. And Mickey Stew says, the demons that walk among us. Yes, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against the principalities, the powers, and spiritual wickedness in high places. Modern day propaganda in society. Number 1. Russia hacked the US 2016 election. False. This one smelt right out of the gate. Many in the alternative media have seen through the propaganda for a long time. It was always too convenient for the Clintons, the Democrats, and other vested interests to blame the Russians rather than the unpopularity of Hillary, corruption queen. The rumour has persisted a long time, probably as a way for the deep state to blackmail Trump. Trump is one of them anyway, and hold something over him so he will do their bidding, as he did by firing 59 Tomahawk missiles into Iraq. Oh no, sorry, Syria. It can be so hard to remember which country we're bombing, especially when eating delicious chocolate cake. Number 2. The left and right political parties on the spectrum offer real diversity and choice. Blatantly untrue. There's no choice when the candidates all stand together on the really important issues, such as who determines the creation and issuance of money, how much control the government gets over the people, and how much secrecy the state grants itself to shroud its advanced black military projects. Candidates that challenge the establishment in truly radical ways, such as these and others, and who rock the foundation by questioning its core constructs, are sidelined and not allowed to go further. The debate is kept within a controlled, manageable spectrum, which is acceptable to the NWO conspirators, but which, frustratingly, means that real change will never occur. I'll tell you what, real change will occur. Real change is occurring right now, and we are the ones making that change happen. Like I say every single day, my brothers and sisters, resistance is victory. Number 3, your vote counts. False in more ways than one. A famous quote attributed to Stalin is that it matters not who casts the vote, but who counts the vote. Vote rigging is rife throughout the US, as explained by Bev Harris from blackboxvoting.org, and as could be seen in the 2006 US presidential election in the way that Bernie was kept out of the primaries in favor of Hillary in certain states like Iowa, Nevada, etc. Besides, even if the votes could be completely trusted, we come back to the point above. If the candidates are all the same on all the important topics, what does it matter? And J.R. Filthy says, but we will be victorious and destroy evil. You had better believe it, brother. And he says, that's why they kicked out the third party of the elections. Yes, and yes, Ghost Who Walks, we are the winds of change, my brother. Number 4, Trump is really different than Obama. Sorry, but the answer is no. Yes, some things change every time a Republican president replaces a Democratic president and vice versa, but in the grander scheme of things, these changes are inconsequential. Trump is following suit after Obama in many ways. There is still an illegal US war against Syria, with the US military killing Syrian civilians. There are still 1,000 plus US military bases around the world, and with Trump increasing the budget, the US military, the bullies of the world, it ain't going anywhere. There is still plenty of opium professionally guarded by US troops coming out of Afghanistan. There is still a massive surveillance state that continues to expand its reach. There are still billions of dollars flowing to the Zionist regime of Israel to help subdue the Palestinians, and millions of weapons flowing to the Saudis to fund ISIS and other terror groups to undermine Syria. Any difference between Trump, Obama, Hillary, Bush, or any other US president or mainstream presidential candidate is tiny when compared to the bigger picture of what's going on in the world. Think about all the passion, energy, and attention that went into the 2016 presidential elections. Why? What's the point of all that focus when the result won't make you more free, safe, peaceful, prosperous, or happy? The whole concept of democratic elections is a massive sham. It's a clever con to get the masses to waste their energy. As a society, if we want real change, we're going to have to wake up to this and focus our attention on elevating our consciousness and changing the system in a whole different way. And that's what we're doing every single day, my brothers and sisters. And I've only got about 10 more minutes on this particular broadcast. I need to run into town, so I'll power through. Number 5, surveillance, data collection, and data retention programs are only in place to keep you safe and protect you against terrorism. Outright false. We are living in unprecedented times. A behemoth surveillance state is being constructed all around us. Every month, every week, and every day, the technology is advancing at an amazingly rapid rate. The capability to enslave us with this metastasizing technological matrix is a real and present danger. The amount of information that agencies like the CIA and NASA can access about you is already quite scary. Facebook, in league with deep state agencies, conducts experiments to sway your emotions and moods. Google monitors and correlates your offline activity to all the online ads you've been exposed to. China, Japan, the US and other nations are now setting up pre-crime systems to find and arrest people before they've even committed a crime. Minority Report film was not a fiction, but rather a predictive programming. And yes, I am being abused by this pre-crime system right now. They have blasted my name all over the media, called me a terrorist, and now I'm under surveillance from the Fixated Persons Unit because I had the audacity, the courage, the guts, the testicular fortitude to say, stop the war, bring peace to the world. But they don't want to stop the war. They don't want to bring peace to the world. But I tell you what, the power of peace will prevail. The power of truth will triumph, and the power of love will lead us to victory, my brothers and sisters. All the information is fed into AI supercomputers who can predict your behavior and end up knowing you better than you know yourself. The goal has always been total information awareness, which uncoincidentally was the precise name of a 2003 US military program under DARPA, which was renamed as the Terrorism Information Awareness. Funny thing that, since terrorism is the perennial excuse offered by the NWO agents for all of their draconian implementations, spying and intrusions. Wikipedia states that, according to a 2012 New York Times article, the legacy of total information awareness is quietly thriving at the NSA. Number 6. If you've done nothing wrong, you've got nothing to hide. False. This is twisted logic that the state uses to trick you into giving up your privacy and gaining the upper hand over you. In most relationships, the party that knows more has more power. It's all about information control. Governments are usually ultra-secretive and the very last type of organization to heed this piece of propaganda advice that they are dishing out. Governments routinely hide, cover up, classify, redact, lose, delete, destroy, and suppress as much information as they can all the time. Yet they want access to all of your information. I would call that hypocritical, but that wouldn't be fair to the word hypocritical. And Mickey Stew says we do not consent. And woo! Revolutionary Sergeant Number 7, Willis, leading the Patriot Squad out of southwestern Sydney. Much love to you, brother. Privacy matters. Society can't function without privacy. Your rights matter, whether you have done something wrong or not. It is your choice to reveal what kind of information about yourself and to whom. Don't fall for this obvious piece of propaganda designed to disarm you into giving away your power. And like I say every single day, my brothers and sisters, we have the power. Number 7, man-made global warming is real and carbon is a toxin. Doesn't appear so. If man-made global warming, or AGW, anthropogenic global warming, is real, then why did the scientists involved cook the books and fake the data with hockey stick rises like that? How is the hype today about global warming different to the hype in the 1970s about global cooling, which never transpired? Isn't it convenient that either global warming or cooling provides the perfect excuse for the people who grew out of the Manhattan Project and who are now running weather control and geoengineering programs to execute their agenda? If global warming is real, why has it demonized carbon dioxide, which is a necessary nutrient for all plant life on this planet? If AGW is real, then why did the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, and other NWO characters tie it to a scheme to create a one-world currency and worldwide carbon tax in the 1980s, as overheard by George Hunt? If AGW is real, why did various NWO think tanks talk about how the need to concoct a serious environmental threat in order to sufficiently scare people into accepting a one world government? Number 8, climate change is the biggest threat to humanity right now. No way! With all the focus on the man-made global warming hoax, it's time to remember all the serious and real environmental threats we are facing rather than be distracted by a scam designed to bring in a worldwide carbon tax. And Revolutionary Sergeant Focused Unity. Good to see you, my brother, Revolutionary Sergeant 575. Great to have you with us, my man. Geoengineering, aka chemtrails, and SRM, or solar radiation management, continues its aerial spraying unabated in many countries around the world, dropping toxic elements from the skies to poison people, animals, and plants below. Nuclear radiation, especially from Fukushima, continues to pollute the earth. Industrial pollution, including heavy metal contamination, general pollution from car exhausts and plastics, and synthetic drug pollution from pharma meds all end up in our waterways and or food supply, not to mention pesticides like glyphosate sprayed on GMOs. California has just declared that glyphosate is a carcinogen. GMOs themselves are a grave environmental threat since they inevitably result in the genetic contamination of the DNA of pure, heirloom, natural or organic organisms, plant or animal. And cheers to victory, my brothers and sisters. Number 9. Russia, North Korea, Syria and Iran and Muslims in general are the enemy. If you believe this, first ask yourself, have these nations, peoples and cultures done anything to you personally? Have they threatened or attacked you? I doubt it. So why would you allow the government, MSM and corporatocracy tell you who the enemy is? Even if by some chance one or some of these people have wronged you, does it make any sense to fear and hate an entire group just because of the actions of a few individuals? Remember, the military and usually the state need an enemy to survive and justify their own existence. The reality is that we don't have any enemies because the very fact of designating someone as an enemy shows that mutual respect, understanding, and diplomacy have failed. It indicates a turning away from trying to understand each other and to find a mutually beneficial win-win arrangement, which is always there if we look and try hard enough. It's laziness. It's saying it's too hard to work things out with this person or group, so I'm just going to designate them as someone or something worthy of disrespect, contempt, and perhaps even worth slaying and destroying. There can never be genuine peace while this attitude lurks at the foundation of our beliefs. If you're interested in actually forming your own opinions, read these articles. You can read them there. Mama Spike says we need a 10-minute... Mama Spike says we need a 10-minute warning when you're going live. I do my best to post on Instagram 10 minutes or thereabouts before every live stream. Ghost Who Walks says feed's being interrupted. Yeah, I got that on my end too. Mama Spike says hers keeps spinning. What is truth says I'm not getting sound. Anyone else? I hope the rest of you can hear me clearly. Number 10, GMOs will feed the world. Absolutely untrue. This type of propaganda is used by big biotech and big agra who are very closely aligned with big pharma, as the merger between Bayer and Monsanto showed, to justify their anti-freedom and anti-health actions, i.e. patenting and monopolizing seeds and spraying toxic and synthetic chemicals all over the world. So we can see almost every single aspect of our lives, almost every single aspect of our society is controlled to destroy us, to dumb us down, to make us sick, to make us stupid, and to make us slaves. But we continue to fight back every single day, and it's people like us who are changing the world, my brothers and sisters. I've got to get out of here right now. Thank you so much for your support every single day. I'll be back tomorrow with another live stream. Much love to all of you. I am Revolutionary Warrior number 1, General of the Save the World Army, Smoking Joe McHale, and together we are beating the Illuminati, breaking the New World Order, bringing down the government, and saving the world from evil. The revolution is here, and we will be victorious. Woo! Yeah!